Andrew Lloyd Webber has ruined Phantom for me, and this is why. Hello darlings, and welcome to Performance Perspective, where we watch different performances and then we share our perspectives. If you're new here, hi, I'm Carolyn. You could call me Care, and if you've been following me, welcome back. Today's episode is exciting because you darlings are the ones that have voted for this musical for us to watch. And by the way, there is another, you could go vote again for the next musical that we'll discuss. And something that's exciting about Phantom is that you can watch it for free. Phantom at the Opera, you can watch it right here on YouTube. There will be ads and things like that, but the link is in description. So if you're like, wait a minute, I want to watch the Phantom, you can. But once again, if you go to the community tab, you can vote for which musical is next. And this is exciting to me because I put up musical options that I've never seen. So it will be the first time I'll be watching this musical. But anyways, back to the point about Phantom is that yes, the Phantom gives me the ick, and I promise I will get to it as far as why, but let's talk about this film. The Phantom of the Opera movie, released in 2004, is a mesmerizing blend of romance and drama, bringing Andrew Lloyd Webber's iconic 1986 musical to the big screen. This film adaptation dives into the heart of the haunting story first told in the Gaston Leroux's 1910 novel. From the shadows of the 19th century Paris Opera House, the Phantom, played by Gerard Butler, orchestrates his plans to draw closer to the talented Christine Daae, played by Emmy Rossum. Concealing his face with a mask due to a birth disfigurement, the Phantom manipulates the opera house management to spotlight Christine, hoping to win her affection. However, Christine's heart is drawn towards the charming arts patron, Raoul, played by Patrick Wilson. Faced with the fear of losing Christine, the Phantom devises a daring plan to ensure she remains by his side, sparking a tense battle of wits and wills with Raoul. By the way, forgive me if I'm pronouncing his name wrong. Raoul. It's not a sexy name, I'll say that. No offense, it's not a sexy name, but I will say, the movie came out when I was in high school and I was obsessed. I loved it so much that my friend at the time always wanted to be Christine and I was Meg. So there was always this scene, Christine, where in the world have you been hiding? So pretty much I would sing those parts and then my friend would be Christine Daae, which was fine to me because, to be honest, I wanted to be La Carlotta. That was my character. I cannot sing that part at all, but that was the one that I gravitated to.
Your part is silent, little toad.
I would love to know, who was your character when watching Phantom? Now, rewatching this film today, I just have to say, I think the film is superior compared to the stage version. What truly draws you into the Phantom of the Opera are its enthralling music and storyline. However, the movie adaptation brought an extra layer of glamour and detail that's hard to replicate on stage. Reflecting on my experience when watching the musical at the West End, my thoughts are online, but listen, I felt a bit disappointed, possibly because the productions retained its original 1980s set design. Back then, scenes like the iconic Phantom of the Opera boat ride were groundbreaking. Similarly, the masquerade scene, when I anticipated would dazzle with opulence and extravagance, left me wanting more. The costumes on stage did not deliver. I was hoping for lavish ball gowns, not something that looked like it was from Party City. Another point tipping the scales in favor of the movie musical, in my view, is its ability to visually bring to life the characters' narratives as they sing. Take, for instance, when Madame Giry recounts to Raoul her encounters with Eric the Phantom, and we're treated to flashbacks that flesh out his backstory. We even catch a glimpse of Christine's childhood, marking her first encounter with the Phantom. Unlike on stage, where music often serves as a bridge for costume or set changes, the film transitions smoothly from scene to scene, enhancing the storytelling without interruption. The movie also peeks behind the curtain of the opera house in ways the stage can't, like showing La Carlotta's employing a spy to gauge Christine's performance in her stead. This depth adds layers to the narrative, making the movie musical an immersive experience. It's just better, okay? They even had animals, not just like, oh, they're on a carriage ride, yes, there's horses, but then the horses would be on stage, which is crazy to me. And again, when you see it on stage, you really have to listen to what the characters are singing. A lot of it is a lot of tell me. So in order for you to understand the story, you would hopefully already know the lyrics, or hopefully you can actually hear what they're saying during that time. Again, the stage is more tell me while the movie is more show me. And again, you can watch this movie on YouTube, link in description. The movie totally plays with our expectations by diving deep into the Phantom's world, but it's the color play that really grabs me. Like when they flip to the future scenes, everything's in black and white, which is not the norm. Usually the future's all bright and full of color, and it's the past that's in those moody grayscale tones. It feels like Raoul and Madame Giry are looking back on their past as the vivid, lush tapestry of memories. And the opening scene, it's like watching the opera house come back to life in the same magical way the Beast Castle does when the curse breaks in Beauty and the Beast. Absolutely love how they did that. Okay, so let's talk Phantom vibes. Honestly, I've heard some voices that kind of soar higher than Emmy Rossum and Gerard Butler's, but you know what? I still totally enjoy how they brought their characters to life. And oh my gosh, can we talk about Gerard Butler as the Phantom? Totally didn't see that coming. I mean, he's usually the tough guy type, right? So seeing him in a musical, mind blown. Also, did anyone else catch that little Easter egg when rewatching? The photo of Christine's dad is actually Ramin Karimloo. How random is that? I felt like I discovered Ramin when Funny Girl went to Broadway, and listen, the fan base, they love him, and rightfully so. He's good looking, he's got the talent. Also, not going to lie, when I think of Phantom of the Opera, the two people I think of is him and Sierra Burgess. So for me, I'm like, they are the couple. It's just interesting to me how connected Ramin is to Phantom, as not only just the stage, but he's in the movie. That's wild to me. And not only did he play the Phantom, but he also played Raoul, which to me, I mean, the versatility on this guy. Okay, diving into the movie's use of colors totally had me hooked, but guys, the costumes, absolutely next level. This is probably why when I finally caught the live show on the West End, I walked out feeling let down. All those stunning wigs, the makeup, the ball gowns in the movie had set the bar so high without me even realizing it. So there I was at my first live Phantom, practically holding my breath for the masquerade scene. The movie nailed it with that champagne gold and black vibe, making everyone look like they were a part of this glamorous, unified ensemble, but still rocking their unique flair. Christine and Raoul, they were decked out in this subtle black and blush combo that made them pop, yet they still meshed with the party scene. And then, bam! The Phantom shows up in red, and you can't help but feel that tension spike. It's like visually, we're all getting the signal loud and clear. This guy does not fit in, and it's just so brilliantly done. Imagine my surprise when I go see the show, and like I said, there's no ball gowns. Like, where's the ball gowns? The colors are everywhere. It looks like Party City. And then the Phantom comes in, and I'm like, what is this? Again, maybe it was something cool back in the 80s, but then when you see it now, it just feels so outdated. Why is he wearing that? With the mask. And
here I bring the finished score.
And also the red to me just seemed meh when he wore it, because everyone else was just in these it was just so gimmicky. Am I crazy? Maybe. So you might be scratching your head thinking, okay, Kara, why the ick with the Phantom when you clearly are all about this movie musical? Well, here's the scoop. I've got to lay this one on Andrew Lloyd Webber's feet. When I saw the movie, I thought it was a beautiful story about, the Phantom being in love with this beautiful girl. And then by the end of their story, it turns into him finally feeling a sense of being loved. Then part 2 of Phantom of the Opera came out. Back in 2010, Love Never Dies hit the scene, picking up a whole decade after the Phantom dipped from Paris. So he's in New York now, right in the hustle of Coney Island's carnival and sideshows. It's like he found his perfect hideout where his music can really take flight. The only piece he's missing is his love, Christine Daae. I did an episode on this, and this musical is wild. And the biggest thing I got out of that musical is learning that Christine and the Phantom had a sexual relationship. So we're just going to forget that he was murdering all these people and try to kill your fiance? So diving back into the movie after getting the lowdown on part 2 kind of flipped my perspective on the Phantom, like majorly. It hit me, the dude's a groomer. Watching him shadow Christine since she was just a kid and then waiting to make his move when she got older, majorly creepy vibes. It really throws a shadow over Madame Giry too. How could she not step in to protect Christine? Makes you wonder if it was all to keep the Phantom from setting his sights on Meg. And then there's that moment near the end where Christine kisses the Phantom. Before, that scene felt like this pure moment of acceptance and love for him, mask off. And it's what pushes him to let her and Raoul leave. But knowing now that they've been closer, it just strips all that beauty and significance away. Like, why would the Phantom even care that she came up and kissed him? Like, who cares? They've been doing it that whole time. Anyways, I don't know. The Phantom character gives me the ick, but I love, if we could just erase part 2, I really do love the movie musical, and I absolutely recommend it. Anyways, darlings, that's it for today's episode. Don't forget to go vote the next musical we'll be discussing, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you love talking about musicals like I do. And without further ado, take care, darling.